Hello everybody, welcome back to Crossing Chains. It's level 57, crossings are back. We have one line to deal with, and so hopefully there's few enough elements here that this doesn't become incredibly difficult. So we got 2 tiles with -5, and in total 4, 8, 12, 24 tiles, but only 22 give plus value, so we're working to a max of 22 with 2 -5s. Okay, well, I'm thinking about where we go up or down here, because that's going to make kind of a dead-endish tile there, which doesn't seem ideal. But I have to find a crossing. We got lucky! We got lucky that the crossing was in the second half of the level, right where I was thinking about needing it. 2 crossings this time, 1 line, and just a whole bunch of dots, so we'll figure that out. We're going to start here, obviously. 5 and -5 right together, 2 crossings that are going to have to be either these 4 pips or those 4 pips, I believe. Probably one on each side, but no guarantees. These -5s here together also leave a lot of mystery. I'm curious if we have to come out to 2 here, which we do. Getting to this 5 is going to be difficult because, I mean, okay, there is that. I was thinking about if we end up coming kind of this way, we pen ourselves in. So, how did I do this? Just that way. But this leaves us with no viable crossings around here apart from maybe that. But now we have the problem that I've created a terminus on the bottom line and up on the top line, which is no good. Okay, so that does not get us to the 3. Problem is, the -5s and the 5, 5, and 9 that are locked don't really suggest that we'll be working with crossings that are very high numbers, but that feels kind of closer to an assumption than a guarantee. And it's also possibly also worth thinking about how are we going to get through this line and this line and this line and this one here that's blocked off by the 5 in a manner where we can do that many out and backs. They put a lot in here, didn't they? And none of it screams as kind of super obvious opening turns. Yeah, again, unless this is our absolute dead end, I don't know how I feel about this. We have to go to this tile, because if we do this, that becomes a dead end. However, if we do this, that becomes a dead end. We can't have 2 dead ends, so that's not correct. Oh dear. I love that if we were just on the opening tile and we take a hint, it just points us to the right. It's like, yeah, we got that one. Thanks ever so much. Because tiles like this, we can't leave an empty spot in the center. Unless, I suppose we could if we did a jump over a bridge, or a crossing. But if we get too big, even if we take a -5, we'll never get down to just 5. So then it kind of becomes this question about, okay, if we have to keep our number low to get to this 5, what negatives do we take between here and there to get this 5? Because we could be as big as, what would this be? 13, 8, 8, 9, 4, 5. So we want to be on like 12 by here or something. Now I just feel like my number has gotten unruly large to deal with any of the locks that we have here. And also, by the time I get back to this tile, unless... Oh, I could do a crossing like that. Then this 2x2 becomes a problem. I get to a crossing there, so... There's things that are happening here, but... We've got to figure out where the gold nuggets are in this execution. Because, yeah, my crossings can be big numbers with a difference of 5. As long as I can get to the other locked tiles, which is the seemingly trickier part. And it's just trying to figure out where the crossings are going to be within these little gaps. Like, it could be that tile, I guess. I hadn't thought about that one. I was using the ones that had all edges, but it could be going down through that and across here, so that would be valid. But the space. There's so much space. I like the 4 here because it lets me get to the 5 there. But what that leaves me with, I do not love. If we were here, it would be 5, 4. We couldn't go -5. Then down to a number low enough that we could get to this 5. So we must enter this 5 before that -5, I believe. But not like that. I can't go to the 5 that prematurely. Oh, I've got no good intuition for where to start here. Okay. This is interesting, except I've made multiple dead ends now, so it doesn't seem very useful to me. And it looks like it wants to be safe. Like, if I could get out here, I could just, like, zip around, but this tile's out of the way, this tile's out of the way. The 9 I almost certainly can't count up to. That is never happening. Okay, so what else? Can't do this because it makes that a dead end. There's so many things I can't do, but finding the thing that I can do is proving difficult. That's interesting. If I added 2 more to this, I get to 12, which is not the 9 I need. God, it's so early in the day as well to be this stuck on a problem. Should we just take whether we're going right or down out of the gate? We're going right. So that becomes possible. Again, just the two crossings become so tricky. I've said it so many times before, I wish I could like make little notations on the board to figure out where I can and cannot go. There's like, what, 17 puzzles left or something? I would love to get through all these. Like, when I get to 13, 14 up in this corner, I'm never going to get myself low enough to be through that 5. So I don't think going the top path is right. I think maybe there's something about ending around here, but it's proving very difficult. And now I've got too many dead ends. I can't see it. Can't see it. I got the last one so fast, and now I'm just like, what's going on? My brain's just like, take more hints. You clearly have too many feasible options. Like, I like this 5, but I really shouldn't. This doesn't make sense because we're almost certainly going to need this -5 to get to something else. Okay, lock in the 4. Not that. Not that. Okay. Interesting that we get to the 9. But if we're on 12 now, we need so much minus to get to the 5 that I don't think there's any route where we can get this 5 now, being at 11 already. So that doesn't feel good. It also doesn't leave us with any real options for crossing. I cannot see it. We can't get that big ever. Or like we get really big right at the end when there's loads of room left, but we need 2 crossings, but we've got 2 minuses, so we can effectively facilitate 4 pseudo crossings, but also the 5s are really small and we need to maintain the 5s. I just need to find anywhere that I can get out of this kind of left-hand lobe and it seem like it makes sense. Oh my god. Thank God. I was really thinking about giving up. Level 59, 4 crossings, but kind of a slightly more limited bandwidth for where to put them. This 14 will be our terminus, so that is something good to know. We need to get out 5 steps before we can hit a minus. There's 9. If I do this, I can't go to this 8 though. So where are we going to end, or where are we going to pick up these 2 -5s? We need to be at least 10 or 11 probably to take both at the same time. And there's 4 crossings in here with only 3 negative numbers. That means one of them is going to be a double crossing. So we're going to need something like this, where we can then go 6, 7. But I realize now we also probably have to start here, because otherwise we can never get back into this 2 slot. If we start with this move, we can never do this. So it has to be this move first. That's good because it eliminates 50% of the possible potential moves that we could be making. Uh, 3, 4 there together is nice looking for a chain, but we can't get through the 2, 5 or the 1, 6 to get to the 14. I was thinking about, if I could get -3 and get through here, could I get -5 and then go through the 5 and the 6 to get to the 14? But I think we have to come down onto this tile and right, so I like where I'm at with that start, but I want to get this 9, 10 into these 2 tiles, basically. Or like a 6, 7. Well, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Then I think I'd have to cross through the 11 to get the minuses, so that seems unlikely. Especially because then I need this tile free to go down through them. 11, 12, 13, 14. But this feels so correct to get to the 14. So I like this idea. There are 4 crossings, not just 2. So we might need to do something similar somewhere else an additional time. So I've thought so much about the ending, I'm not thinking about the midpoint. But I guess the start is this, and the ending is probably down, down, right, right. It's the middle between all of that where the high variance is. I think it must be this, because we can never get to here and do 3, 4 through this, because there's more moves than there is minuses. So I think this is correct, which makes that correct and that correct. I'm just thinking about when do we get to this -3 and when could we cross through it. But then that leaves this 8 abandoned, which we can't deal with. There's so much to do in so little space here. Something's a double crossing, but then there's 2 other crossings. These 2 5s. I think I have to take them at the same time, Because while I could take this 5 whenever I want, that leaves this as a dead end. So with that in mind, there's no way I can take this one without that one. And if I take that one without this one, then I create a new dead end. So we're going to need to be 10 or 11 before we take these two, which is its own field of problems. Let me check if my logic on leaving this puzzle here is correct, because this 5 would have to go up. So our starting assumptions are correct. That's nice. We decided it's not that, and it can't be that. But I feel like I need that 3 to be something that helps produce a loop. If that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How on earth do we make the 14 as an endpoint when there isn't enough tiles to do it, is there? I guess no, because this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 are the other 3 pips we gain by counting up over our crossings. So the additional pips we take from recrossing crossings is how we grow the extra value that we need. So what do we do with that? This for a start, we know that's correct. I want to get up to the -3 in a way that leaves a trail that can be walked down. But I can't. That looks like it was almost going to be good going through the 5, 6, but the numbers don't add up. I didn't think about... I was earlier on talking about how we have to take these two together. Hypothetically, there's a world where we could get to here as a 6 and come down, but the other negatives don't seem to work in our favor for that. Also, we've already described that I want to get to this tile before this one. And getting up and down, there's just not enough room for it. Right, so we know this is good. Where I wish I could scratch in what numbers I want to hit when I get there. Pen tool would be the most useful thing in the world. There's 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. In some way. Oh, it was close. It was close. Can we just manipulate this a little? Because I don't think I can come down further to then get through here. I mean, hold on. Is there ever... No, you can't do a crossing on a corner, can you? You couldn't do 11, 12, 13. I don't think that would be allowed. It'd be great if it was, because that would let me get to the 14, but a crossing is not on a bend. But that math seems to be very pleasant, you know? But I can't turn the 8 onto the 9. Come on, brain. You can check off Gothic says come on brain while making a puzzle game on your bingo cards. I love this except for the 8 that it leaves. Can't do that there. Oh. I can see so many of the elements that I want to happen, and yet I can't make them happen. Let's focus on this top left corner. How do I get in and out of this? That looks great, but then leaves this. I would love to kind of get a -5 and then go from here 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, but I'd add 2 here and I can't go over the 10 and the 11 and the 12 to make 4 crossings like that. Like, I still feel like I need to... Look, I like where this 10, 11 is, but I don't love getting back through it a second time for more crossings. Are we going up or right here? Going right. If we go down, we can't ever get in and out here. So... can't get to that 14 and through the 7 to the 8. It's too big. No, give me that back. What did we just do? This looks so promising that I can't get to that bottom right corner now. And I can't put 10 here to be the crossing. Unless I can. No, I can't cross 9 like that. There's something here. I can taste it. Like the 7, 8, 9. Oh. What did I do different? I don't know. Where did we go different here? We did 8, 9, 10, 11. I didn't come back up. I went to the right and then did the -5s. Thank goodness. This is the harvest level with a single chain. Good luck. All right, well, that's a story for next time. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.